About to blow up. Can you see me?
Okay guys, we're going to read a story today called My Rotten Redheaded Older Brother. It's by Patricia Polacco. How many of you have siblings? Raise your hand if you have siblings. Somebody tell me if you have an older sibling. Raise your hand. Tell me about your older sibling. Marquise, tell me about your older sibling.
She's irritating. She likes to get me in trouble, and she doesn't give a crap about. Like she tries to get me in trouble every day.
Okay.
As long as I'm in trouble, she's okay.
She's happy with that. Okay, what about your older sibling? Like,
He always picks on me and tries to get me in trouble.
same, kind of similar to Marquise. How many have a different experience with their older sibling?
Well, I have 3 siblings, and one of them
All of them are older?
No, but one of them's like a 2-year-old, or no, she's like only 1, and she's like really, little. I have to take care of her when my parents are gone, and so my sister, she doesn't do anything at all. She just like sits and watches TV, and I have to help the
Fatima does that?
Yeah, I have to help the 7-year-old with homework, and I have to like take care of my stuff, like my homework, and I have to take care of my little sister all at the same time.
So she delegates the responsibilities
And
to
like
you.
when my parents come back, since they leave her in charge, she goes, I did all the work. And I'm just like, I don't know how to do the dishes. I don't have to do like everything.
So you also have kind of a hard relationship, not hard, but you tend to not get along with your sister sometimes
No.
either. Leo, what about you?
My big sister Sarah, well, at times she's sweet. At other times, she's a pain in the neck.
Right, right, and especially,
She's-
sisters that are teenagers tend to go through where sometimes they're nice and sometimes they're not nice. That's basically how
My sister's
females are.
14 and she's
Men.
Yeah, once I cleaned her room because I wanted to do something nice for her birthday. So then when my mom came, she's like, she's like, Sarah did such a good job. I'm like, I did. I'm like, why'd you do it?
Brooklyn, what do you think?
I actually have 3 older brothers. I don't have any little siblings. And sometimes they're nice to me, and sometimes they just like to mess around with me, which I'm okay with that.
And it makes a difference. I was the baby too, and my sister and I did not get along until she went to college. And then I started to actually miss her. But we kind of had the same kind of relationship you guys are talking about. Okay, one more comment, then we're gonna go on.
Well, my older brother basically kind of bullies me. Yeah.
I hate to hear that. How old is he?
He's 15.
Did he go here to Barry?
Yeah, he was in 7th grade.
Oh, he came in 7th grade. Okay, I didn't think I knew him. All right, so we kind of have all of us have an idea of what it's like to have siblings, okay? And a lot of you, you're the oldest, right? So, but are you
I'm the
an
second
only?
oldest.
Huh?
No, you're not an only.
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
I'm the
Are you oldest? Okay.
Second oldest.
Johanna, what about you?
I'm the second oldest
I'm
too.
the oldest.
You're the oldest as well, okay. So, most of us have older siblings, but some of us are the oldest. So maybe your younger siblings think that you're doing these things to you guys, to them, right?
Well, sometimes.
No, I'm actually nice. I'm really nice with my brothers.
If like you're doing something that your older siblings are supposed to help you, that you get mad. Like I've done it before. I get mad like, oh man. But then
And
sometimes
I
you're
fight
trying to
my
help you,
brothers.
you know, it's, oh, you're trying to do a good thing.
Me and him like
Right,
playing
they're trying to be
WWE
nice.
and stuff.
Okay, so let's
Outside
go
the
ahead and
house.
read this story. We're gonna look at the older brother. This is my rotten redheaded older brother. So this is the older brother here. And by looking at his facial expressions, what do you think we're gonna learn about him?
He's just like David, the book David.
The book David?
Oh.
Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about.
Oh,
You think he's mean?
Yeah.
What do you think? Annoying? Yeah, rotten indicates he's probably not the best person. That
Or he's
is-
spoiled.
Spoiled, maybe? What else?
He thinks, he probably like thinks that he can do better. Like, he's better than his sister.
Maybe. Maybe. What do you think, Leo?
I'll be like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to do this, you can't do that, you have
Like
to
he's
do that.
bossy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes older siblings are bossy,
They're like
aren't they?
always like,
My
Uh-huh.
older sibling
My,
is very
my
bossy.
sister,
always, like,
my
I'm
sister
in
says if I would do something for her, she's gonna call my mama and lie with me. My mom
That's not
believes her.
My
nice.
sister does.
That's
My
not
mom
nice.
believes her.
Well, when we read today, I want you to pay attention to not only his characteristics, like is he mean to his sister, does he lie, is he, those kinds of things, but also his physical, how he looks. Okay, so pay attention to that, okay? And she kind of looks like she's teasing him too, so maybe we're gonna learn about that. All right, so I'm gonna read you the book. All right, here we go. My brother and our mother and I all lived with my grandparents on their farm in Union City, Michigan. Now my babushka, my grandmother, knew lots of things. She knew just how to tell a good story. She knew how to make ordinary things magical, and she knew how to make the best chocolate cake in Michigan. After she told my brother and me a grand tale from her homeland, we'd always ask, "Bubby, is that true?" She'd answer, "Of course it's true, but it may not have happened." Then she laughed. Now, I knew that she loved me all right, but I couldn't quite understand how she could even like my older brother, Richard. He had orange hair that was like wire. He was covered in freckles and looked like a weasel with glasses. The one thing that my bubby didn't seem to know was how perfectly awful my brother really was. Mind you, he was always nice whenever she was around us, but as soon as she'd leave, he would do something terrible to me and laugh. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
There were so many things that I couldn't stand about him. The worst was that he was always telling me he could do just about everything better than I. "Bet I can pick more blackberries than you can," he jeered at me one day. "No, you can't." "Can so." "Cannot." "Can," he whispered. "Not," I said louder. "Can," he whispered so low that I could hardly hear him. "Not," I screamed back. So he's trying to frustrate her, isn't he? We both picked berries for most of the afternoon. Well, he upped and did it. He not only picked more berries than I, he set a record that wasn't even challenged for the next 10 years. "You make me sick, Richard Barber," I yelled at him. Then he smiled that smile that only a rotten, red-headed older brother could smile. I guess I would have to face him. He could run the fastest, climb the highest, throw the furthest, sit the longest, get the dirtiest, burp the loudest, and spit the furthest. He had no equal, certainly not me. And I'm 4 years older than you. Always have been, and always will be, he sneered. There had to be something I could do that he couldn't. Then an inspired thought comforted me like a fresh breeze on a hot summer day. "Oh, Richie," I cooed as I stood next to the rhubarb bushes. "Do you like rhubarb?" "No," he said. "It's the sourest stuff on this planet." Now I knew at long last that I had him, but I can eat more of this raw rhubarb than you can without getting the puckers. What's the puckers? Like when you eat something sour, you're like,
I hate
yeah,
sour
your
stuff.
face goes like, okay? "I don't think so." "Well, I do." "I don't," he said, narrowing his eyes. "I do," I insisted. "Don't," he hissed, looking smug. "Do," I said furiously, as I grabbed the first stalk and started chewing it almost down to the leaf. You see his face? He looks like he's got the puckers already.
Mhm.
Even the animals, When I couldn't get one more sour bite into my mouth, he was still eating with relish. "I thought you said you don't like rhubarb," I said through pursed lips. "I don't like it. I love it," he announced as he popped the last stalk into his mouth. I was so mad. I couldn't even feel how my belly was starting to ache. "I can't stand you, Richard Barber," I double-dog can't stand you," I screamed as I went into the house to be consoled by my grandmother. "Yeah, I'm 4 years older than you two, you little twerp. Always have been and always will be," he called after me. Then he laughed that rotten, red-headed older brother laugh. That night at dinner, I could hardly eat. "Have you been eating angry apples again, child?" Bubby asked as she sliced a huge web of rhubarb pie. "I baked your favorite." Richard gave me one of his extra rotten, weasel-eyed, greeny-toothed grins. At bedtime, my Bubby came and sat on the edge of my bed like she did every night. "Look, a falling star," she said. We watched it streak across the sky. Then she spit twice between her fingers and gave her chest a loud slap. "Why did you do that, Bubby?" I asked. "I was making a wish. Didn't you know that wishes on falling stars come true?" At last, I knew how I was going to get back at my brother. For the longest time, I watched the dark sky until I saw a star shoot across the night. Then I spat between my 2 fingers and slapped my chest. It was done. My wish was to do something, anything better than my brother. I'd show him. You think she's gonna do it?
Yeah.
The next morning, all I could think about was my wish. I was thinking about it so hard I almost didn't notice the wagons and trucks pulling into the field down the road near Four Corners. "A traveling carnival," my brother shouted as he ran toward me. "They're setting up right here in our field. But I can eat more hot dogs than you can," he teased. He was already starting it. But this time I was going to do something so incredible that even he would have to sit up and take notice. I had a star wish. I'd show my rotten, red-headed older brother all right. That night, I ran straight for the merry-go-round. We must have taken 50 turns on that carousel, but then my brother got off. I stayed on. I went around and around and around. "I knew I could do this longer than you," I shouted to my brother, feeling proud, but just a bit dizzy. "Tresha," I heard my Bubby call out, "get off that thing. It's time to go home." The last thing I remembered was stepping off from the platform. Next thing I knew, I woke up with Bubby sitting on the edge of my bed. Mom and Grandpa were there too. "You gave us all a fright," Mama said. "How do you feel?"